Literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks. I'm saving up my dough, watching it grow. No more wasting money on things I don't really know. Financial smarts, that's my new swag. Investing wisely, no more burning cash, I'm building wealth. $1 at a time, going from broke to living the life that's prime.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and I am pre-recording this, obviously, but I just got done racking my brain, crunching the numbers, finding out how we did for the month of July. So welcome to August, people. It's hot. It's humid. It feels like an oven every time I go outside. But with that said, we still got to do what we still got to do. And I wanted to make sure to give the most up-to-date numbers and metrics. So as soon as I got back from being out in the elements, making sure to keep hydrated, got cleaned up, got myself some dinner, I jumped right into these numbers. We're going to go over them. We're going to jump. It's going to be a straightforward episode, but first and foremost, we got to give a shout out to the sponsor of the show and the platform, Delta Investment Tracker app, an app that I use every day, an app that I'm constantly tapped into. Shout outs to them. There is a link down in the description that lets them know that you found them by me. If it's something that you're interested in, definitely give that link down there. I don't get anything from it. My sponsorship level is just access to the pro features, but definitely tap in, let them know you found them by old Reckless Ray Dinero. Now, this month was pretty interesting. I'm super excited. I'm both excited and a little bit sad, but that's only because no one's happy when numbers go down. And we definitely had a tumultuous month. Numbers went down, which affects our net worth. We have a lot of it tied up in crypto and crypto adjacent things. So when crypto doesn't do well, nothing does super well, but like also semiconductors seem to not do well. There was the Nvidia stock split, the dump on that finally manifested itself. It killed the momentum of the stock. Life happenings. So we are definitely in a situation where we have pivoted. We're full bore on debt elimination. Like, it's gotten to a level that's uncomfortable. We had another unforeseen expense, and I'm going to do an episode on it. It will be coming up. It might not hit this month because I got some other stuff coming for this month, but next month we'll be talking about the events that have unfolded because we will be knee deep into it because our velocity banking and some of the other strategies that we are implemented are definitely being put to the test at this point. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. We'll start off with my thoughts over the month. I thought I had. Well, actually, I didn't think I had saved more than I did because we kicked over into full on focusing in on debt elimination. Like, we've got to get some of these things out of here. We have some stuff that's built up. Like, obviously I made some moves to go purchase income to start acquisitioning and being able to hypercharge the debt. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go back to work. So we were putting some stuff in that was going to make things manageable in place. But now we are looking at the debt, and we're starting to have to make some not unfortunate. It's just positioning myself because part of me wants to just go, hey, zero out all the debt and start over. Just start liquidating assets, zero out the debt, start over from scratch at zero. But then I'm losing the income, and I don't want to lose that income. I don't like selling assets, period. But that is starting to gnaw at me because when you start having really expensive one of one things, like a lot of the rhetoric you hear, especially right now from certain people who have ascribed to a very liberal mindset, is when they're trying to break down to you that you're poor, which never works for me because I'm not. They're like, they always tell you you're 2 bad months away from being homeless, basically. Well, I'm actively getting to live those 2 months, and we're going at it like a champ, but it's inconvenient, and like the frustration comes in the sense that it's like I don't like having to sell off assets to pay off debt. Like that's average Joe stuff. I'm not average in any form or fashion when it comes to those types of things. So like me personally, like the game becomes, how do I pay this back without liquidating assets? And like at this juncture, it's like, okay, we're a little bit outside of the window, so there's going to be a little bit of trimming, and I'm having to decide where the trimming's coming from. It's not coming out of the income portfolio. The only thing that comes out of that income portfolio is the income. Like that's all we're using out of there. But it's been a process. It's been very frustrating because like things like that annoy me. It's the ultimate first world problem because it's not that I can't pay the debt. It's just it's like I get annoyed by it. And I'm like, why is this random expense existing? like when I'm building, because like it's not like I have a dedicated emergency fund that's like now my goals for my in-home banking pool of money has just gone up because like that does function as my emergency fund. And I'm like, that's so now I actually do have to have money sitting in the bank. It's going to be super annoying, but the in-home banking pool of money, we're setting higher targets on that, based off of the recent experiences, because I am getting to navigate that 2 months of financial hell that people talk about that could make you end up being homeless. And I'm looking at it, and when I look at the debt, and I'm like, yeah, that could definitely like put someone in a really bad spot, especially if they couldn't go to work. So it's experiencing something retools how you look at things and the way you'll talk about them moving forward. But the moral of the story is I'm capable at this juncture now of winding 2 bad months. That would be catastrophic failure for a normal person, your average American. And while I am highly annoyed, it is not something that's like, because like I could go zero it out. I'd still be in a realm that's better than most people from a net worth perspective, but like I don't want to have to liquidate assets. I really don't. Like the trimming that we're doing has been super annoying to me. And we'll put it that way. It's been extremely annoying because I don't like selling anything. Like period. But you got to do what you got to do. I was like, we got to trim from everywhere, because it's like once stuff goes out of metric, then you're starting to hit that. It's not a danger zone, but it's a pre-danger zone, and I don't like living in that realm. And that's the reason when I tell people that things are tools and you have to know how to use debt, this is how I look at debt. I start getting concerned, frustrated, and angry at the pre-danger zone, like when it's still like I'm like I could ride this out for a while. But then I can't navigate the way that I was navigating before, and I can't build these accounts up the way that I was building them up before. And it could potentially down the road, another 2 bad months could put me into the danger zone, and then I'm going to have to start mass liquidating assets to just get it back to zero, and then I'll have to start over from scratch. And I'd rather do that before it's a major problem. So we've started the trimming process. We're kind of looking at the financial landscape to see like what I have available as far as pools of cash. Because there are pools of cash multiple places. We've got lots of assets, but it's just which assets are we liquidating? What are we letting go of in order to get us back into the area where I was actively working the velocity banking strategy and just paying stuff off. Because I do care about that test enough to, we're going to keep the new expense has thrown a monkey wrench in everything. basically, and it's going, well, we're a little bit out of scope, and by a little bit out of scope, I mean like it's like $1,000 over what I was working with, and that's into the pre-danger zone. Like I start being concerned because I don't like leveraging to the hilt, and that's nowhere near the hilt, but like that $1,000 over what I had allotted myself as far as the debt was concerned. I'm like, okay, this isn't kosher for me. So I start eliminating problems before they become problems is the way that I look at things, especially with finances, because like you don't want to allow a financial problem to blossom into a full-grown problem. Like it's just not good to do that. So let's jump on in and get to the nitty-gritty. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the net worth. Obviously, net worth is your scorecard for the game of money. And we took a hit. Markets are down. Markets are down across the board. Like even the stuff that I have that's not crypto related in my brokerage account, like that stuff's down too. Like it's just, it was red everywhere. Obviously the brokerage account doesn't move as violently as Bitcoin or my crypto portfolio does. So it's just not, it doesn't really phase me. It's just like, oh, this is more red. That's great. Obviously the crypto adjacent portfolio positions also red because crypto is down. Crypto went up, then crypto came down. It's we're seeing a lot of volatility right now, and I'm here for it. Like that's where the money's made. So the net worth this month, we are down $2,072.45, which in the grand scheme of things, not that much, but it's a marker because like if you start seeing multiple months where stuff is going down, then you got to look at like which direction you're trending. And I like checking the trends. So that's one of the things. Like if the number starts getting ridiculous, like how much you're down, then like you got to look at are we in the bear market? Are we in a recession? Is this time to start loading up on positions? Which for me, it would be, but we're clearing the debt first. Like we're going to go ahead and get that guaranteed lock in, because once that debt is cleared, there's some other strategic moves that I'm looking to start making on a larger scale at this point. Now that I've gotten a pretty good strategy. I did an interview the other day with Miss Jenny, and it won't be released for a little bit, but when it does release, I will make sure to share it because there were some gems in there. But towards the end of that interview, I actually learned within that interview how one of my principles, I haven't been utilizing it fully, and I need to clear this debt down to something that's like negligibly manageable in order to start implementing that. But once I start implementing that, things will start moving a lot faster. So that's the other reason that I'm really excited about what's going on. I don't like it, but I'm really excited. So moving on next, we got to hit our savings percent. And so you'll notice we have a few metrics that we're looking at each month, and I've added one for this month. But the ones that we look at every month up to this point were our net worth, savings percentage, credit score, and then the total amount saved. Now I've got another one that we're starting to track this month now that we're getting granular, we're getting into it. And I'm excited about it because obviously what you track is what improves, and it allows you to see which direction you're trending. So the savings percentage this month was only 26.81%. Now that is low for me from what we've done every month prior. We're normally above 40%. Reason being, we are focused on clearing debt, which is crazy. Like you start focusing on clearing debt out, and then all of a sudden you have major expenses that just keep adding to the pool. I mean, we're going in the right direction, but like when you start making noticeable chunks in a pile of debt, and then you have another expense that adds to the pile, it's almost like working at the post office. It's crazy. So we're hoping that we're hitting a stable point for a little bit, so that way we can continue chucking along. But we only did 26.81%, which, I mean, I guess you could round up 27%. I always like to give accurate numbers because then people will be like, you're padding the numbers. Disingenuous. I know, given the receipts though. So we're down to 26.81% because we're not going to not save. And by saving, I mean getting money into the market. But on that same note, we were not going to be able to, like, now that we're focused in and we're dialed in, I'm laser focused on clearing the debt. Like the savings is just going to be a little bit different in regards to how we're focusing that in moving forward. The credit score is another one that's important. It's down 29. It's down 29 points. So obviously, when you're utilizing credit, had another large expense come in. Definitely took a hit on the credit. But it's credit utilization. We're going to make a couple of payments going into next month. This is a payday week as well, and we're going to see that drop drastically, almost immediately. So, or see it go up drastically because we took the hit because we took out the credit. When you pay off the credit, it just goes back up. It's one of those things where we try to keep it at a certain level because we are utilizing the credit and we want to make sure we're getting the best deals possible. Next up, we've got the total amount saved, which was $1,452, which is awesome. And we did that kind of passively. The first half of the month before the incident happened, like we were humming along, like we were doing what we needed to do. The savings rate for August, I'm projecting, is going to probably be around this rate or lower because, again, month of August, we're killing debt, consolidating, and getting it gone, getting it out of the way. So that way, coming into the end of the year, which is normally milder for the markets, the traditional markets, we're going to be positioning ourselves to where we can start flowing that money into the income portfolio a little bit more, building up that income base. And hopefully, steamrolling this plan that we got a little bit faster. Now, the last one that I've got is the new one that we're adding. It's a new metric that we are adding that I'm going to start tracking out of my monthly financials now that we're getting a good bead on what's going on. And that's the trend for the income for the month. Now, that's the total of all the income that we had against the previous month's total income. So this month, we increased our income for the month, $935. It's almost $1,000, which is awesome. Like, obviously, we're clearing out debt, but that income portfolio, we retooled it, reallocated it, and it's definitely doing what it needs to do. And I am super excited about that. Like, that number being such an increase over last month. Like, obviously, since we're clearing out the debt, we are utilizing all of our debt tools available, which includes the in-home banking, which we also had income come in from. But the one thing that I noticed this month that was very telling and very, very interesting for me was my dividend income beat out my crypto, my DeFi space income. It finally flipped. So the dividends are now, my dividend portfolio is now outperforming my crypto portfolio, which has got me going, like maybe I should just consolidate down into the things that I'm super long on and, just let that just be an appreciation portfolio versus trying to do what I'm pretty effectively doing in dividends right now. And next month it should be even more of a pull because that portfolio is starting to get some legs under it. It's definitely helping with clearing the debt. It's definitely doing its part to grow itself. We've put some other principles and guidelines in place for that portfolio, so that way we can consistently get that growth while we're still focused on the debt. And I'm excited about it. So that's what we've got for this month. Tap in with me down in the comments below. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lower energy than normal, but like we left it all out on the table this week, and especially today. But I want to hear you guys' take. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, how did your guys' month of July wind down? Are you guys tracking your finances on this level? Like, do I need to do an episode on how we do that? Like, that might be pretty interesting as well. If it would be helpful, I'd be more than happy to do that to add to my community. Obviously, I want the Wolfpack having the same tools that I have. And we can go into detail on that, but I want to hear your guys' input on this. Like, what are we thinking? Because I know a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, just cash out all the assets, just zero out the debt, just don't have debt. And it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, I could do that, but then it's gonna take X amount of time to build this back up when I can just use the income that I have and add that to my income that I'm getting from my W-2 and pay it off that way, and then just keep the income and like keep the growth metrics that I've got. Also, it's not anything that can't be paid back. Like, I was looking and I was like, all my front facing, the most recent stuff that I've built out portfolio wise, like everything that's not crypto, which is most of my net worth, I could pay this back with. I could honestly pay it back out of the brokerage in and of itself at this point. I just don't want to start doing it that way, especially when the velocity banking strategy is working. It's just such a pain when you get another large debt on top of it. It's just like, gee, like seriously, like we were doing so well, and then it's like we just got started. Like, we just got like one card done. We were getting the second card done, and I was getting ready to make some moves on that because we're doing the breather in between every time we clear the debt tool, we do a breather and like throw a bunch of money into the brokerage account. And I was getting ready to do that, and then yeah, they're like, we need thousands of dollars from you, please. Thank you. So that's setting that process back, but we're getting back on track. Like, I'm feeling it. We're getting back on track. We're getting there. It's just a matter of staying the course, following the process, but we're definitely not liquidating everything. Like, I can go find some stagnant money and we're probably going to do that, because at this point I want this set up as fast as possible so I can implement the strategy that I just recently unlocked, the next level of my strategy that I just recently unlocked. So yeah, until next week, people, it's been Future Financial Strategies. This is the July monthly financial update. If you got value out of this, definitely hit the like button. If you got value out of this, actually share it with your friends, share it with your communities, because like, we're not trying to get rich over here in the Wolfpack by ourselves. Obviously, tight-knit group, small group. We're getting ready to bring the lives back. Guns and Butter is coming back. It's going to come back better than ever. I'm almost in a space where I could do that. And as soon as we get to that space, we're going to be back at it. I got a couple more things I need to button up. It's probably going to be end of August, early September. Be looking for it. Till the next time, it's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and I am out. Peace.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.